Hey, Naracha, you got anything to say, Naracha?
Let me out of this fleecy vessel.
Okay.
Hi.
Hello. So, in this video, we're going to be talking about an epidemic.
Incels.
Not incels.
Oh.
Nice guys.
I was close.
Plus, there's also nice girls. We do have a couple of
yeah.
those. We're going to be reading off of Reddit, focusing on the tags, or the forums, r/niceguys and r/nicegirls, with, to keep on brand, the subcategory of cosplay. Because I have heard a many number of horror stories on there, could not find those ones. I don't know if Reddit did a thing. I don't really know how Reddit works. But yeah, so that's cool and fun and fresh.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Huh?
Oh, that is a narwhal penis polar bear. r/nature is metal. Well, since I'm gonna start screen recording, this is what we can start on, I guess.
Hey.
So you chose a couple, I saved a couple nice girl ones, and you chose some nice guy ones for equality. Yeah. So do you want to choose which one we do first?
Yeah, I think this was the first one. This one is a wild fucking ride.
Back in 2017, my grandfather fell ill and I was stressed out due to this. So I decided that to have a break off after almost 3 months of going to the hospital every morning at 8 a.m. to help him eat and keep him company, I asked my brother to take over for me so I could go to the local convention for one day, and he agreed. Our town is small, so it wouldn't be bad for my anxiety. A few nights before the convention, I made a very minimalistic cosplay of a feminine-looking male character out of stuff we had at home. That Saturday, I bought a one-day pass to the local convention that happens every September. I got ready and did minimal makeup, put on the cosplay, and had my mom drop me off. The convention went fairly well, and I even had some people recognize the character I was dressed as, asked for pictures, and told me I looked great, and it gave me a huge confidence boost, which was great for my 4'11" babyface pre-transition trans man. About halfway through the day, I was hungry, so I went and got some of the pizza being sold and sat down at a table, because I never knew anyone there. That was my mistake. I should have sat with a table of other cosplayers to stay safe while I was eating. This greasy, foul-smelling dude approaches me. Let's call him Creepo.
Yeah.
Oh, we calling him Creepo?
We calling him Creepo.
We calling him Creepo?
Creepo.
He complimented my cosplay by saying, "You look gorgeous. Who is she and what is she from?" And I explained that the character is actually male but looks feminine because he's from a D&D podcast. This is Taco. Wait. Someone's cosplaying as Taco.
This is Taco?
A feminine-looking male character from a D&D podcast.
That did not click with me.
That didn't click? Okay,
No.
It clicked with me just because of that part. Maybe it's not Taco. I mean, there's more, but... Creepo just laughed and sat next to me, uninvited, not across from me, right next to me, despite there being 5 chairs not next to me. Each table has 8 chairs. He asked me if I had ever been to a convention before because I obviously had no friends with me, and asked if I would be there tomorrow. I said no to both, and Creepo started in on his spiel about how he had a panel tomorrow and that I'll miss his genius idea that he had for an anime that I can't remember the premise of, besides that it was very boring. I was just trying to eat, holding a plush I had gotten that day for comfort, and this guy leans in, past the brim of the witch's hat I was wearing, and whispered into my ear, "Don't tell anyone." His breath was terrible, and it felt wet on my ear. I pretended that my phone vibrated, and I took it out, and I had to go because my mom was going to pick me up soon. He tried to take my phone and continue. I told him to stop, and he said something like, "I just want to know your number so I can text you." I told him no, and he got upset. He was like, "You should give me your number. I complimented your cosplay and told you my idea that nobody else knows yet." I scooted back my chair in fear. Creepo was at least 6'4" and easily 150 pounds heavier than me. I lied and told him that I'm only 15, please stop. 18 at the time, though, which was believable for my height and face. That made most people think I was as young as 12. The oldest I ever got somebody guessing my age was 16. Creepo still didn't back off, saying that he didn't care, and got in my face. One of the people who had asked for my picture of my cosplay had left the main hall to get some food and noticed I was uncomfortable with that guy, who was at least 30 and was very close to me. She came over and started lying, saying that she had been looking for me everywhere because she found a really cool thing I thought I would like. The guy excused himself, but not before saying, "I love your Sylveon plush, by the way. It is truly the most beautiful Pokemon," which would have been normal had I not been holding it in front of my chest for comfort. That's not where the story ends, though. Oh no, that's just my luck. My mom came to pick me up, and I got to go home and relax after the stressful event. I go into the hospital the next morning to help my grandfather with breakfast, and I see no other than Creepo dressed in scrubs making the rounds for beds.
Yeah. Now this is where it gets
bad.
Mm-hmm.
I think I just had a seizure. Oh boy. But wait, he was supposed to be doing a panel at the convention the next day. We never said we checked these for if they're real.
No, I mean, in all honesty, I thought at that point I was kind of like,
This guy was occasionally my grandfather's nurse from then on until November when my grandfather passed. He conveniently moved floors when my grandfather was moved. Creepo would look at me weirdly when I was alone with my grandfather while he slept. He wouldn't do anything to help my grandfather when asked, unless I asked him, where he would be unprofessional and check me out while helping him. It got to the point that Creepo wouldn't even move my grandfather when he had no strength in his arms and with blood clots in his legs. I thought it was over after my grandfather passed, but I wasn't so lucky. In February of 2018, I started helping my cousin out at her little cafe in a local mall. I went in with my mom in the morning so I could help her get everything ready and take orders until my cousin showed up at 11 a.m. when I would help out by serving people. This was good until I show up with my mom one morning. Sitting in the dining area is none other than Creepo. The gate to the counter wasn't open yet because we weren't open yet, and Creepo smiled and then nodded his head, making a joke that we were supposed to be open already because a woman has to feed a man. I think we're done with this one. Cool. Also, he said that he was underage, but okay. Cause just, hi, I'm 15. I don't care. Conventions are scary places. Always go in groups. Okay, so let's go to a nice girl one for gender equality. So this one was just nice girl dogs animated. My favorite. This one's not really a story because I didn't go into nice girl stories. This was just a post. And just...
I find it really annoying when guys say they want a nerdy girl. When all they really want is a girl with glasses who played Skyrim once or twice. Bitch, what the fuck is a Skyrim? I'm gonna kill you. Watched The Hobbit. I thought that was Lord of the Rings. Are they not the same?
The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings are in the same series.
Just wanted to make sure I'm not stupid. Maybe Star Wars. Maybe watched her ex play Halo. Let's not forget anime tits. Delphine. 2 words.
2 words. Bath water.
But when a really nerdy girl comes along and starts imploding with knowledge on a certain topic or fangirling over her favorite superhero when they ask her who her favorite superhero is, these guys get annoyed and dump us nerdy girls. But then, at the same damn time, apparently the real nerdy girls don't exist. Cool. What the fuck am I then? Sorry, my...
Did it hurt? Did it hurt?
Sorry, my Marvel knowledge overpowers yours. Oh, Lord, I hate Reddit.
Gatekeeping. I love it. Anyway, this lovely one is for all of the people who want to go back and find it for themselves. Jackie's Bizarre Adventure, which is apparently not about JoJo's. The Great Battle of Two for the Hand of the Maiden. Oh, okay.
Honestly, we love a Redditor who... Title.
So, characters. Jackie, me, at the time of the story 15. Due to a large chest and bouncy attitude, I always came off older, greatly to my sorrow. Thing 1, a clingy nice guy with an agenda, at the time 19. Thing 2, a backstabber nice guy with ambition, at the time 18. This story begins in a faraway land of irrelevant information.
Redacted.
Redacted. Where your very own narrator was living at. Around my city there used to be a lot of nerdy events happening, and I used to attend most, if not all of them. I was pretty cute when I was 15. Long hair, very big bosom, wore skirts and perky outfits for fun. I was a pretty big geek, loved anime, and was into all sorts of shows and classics, big Transformers fan and comic book fan. Not to anyone's surprise, a lot of people would bother me, thinking that they could woo me. Take the maiden's hand, so to speak. Only in this case, the maiden is underage, and instead of a knight, the bridge trolls want to take a crack at it. Wig. During the summer, I came in late at one of the events on my own, which meant by the time I got there, a lot of people were bundled in tiny groups and speaking mildly awkward to their own people. There wasn't much going on, so I started to shift myself into different groups to talk and enjoy myself as I needed to kill time. After an hour of joking around, I felt this finger tap my back, and I turned to see this dude, no taller than me, as I stand at 158 centimeters, I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is either.
With greasy, unwashed, lumpy hair and teeth that haven't been brushed in a decade.
I think that's about 5'4".
I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, weird centimeter people.
I don't trust people that measure in centimeters.
He reeked of Dr. Pepper and had an orange smudge on his face, which I assume were crisps. This thing of a human being was wearing messy clothes, and while he did not smell, he did look like the carrier for the Black Death, for all I knew. I was naive back then, a bit nicer because I was used to managing people, and being a metaphorical mom because most of the time people misinterpreted my silence with a desire to listen, when in reality I'm just tuning them out and repeating, I understand.
Hi there.
He tells me as I remember trying to find the words to say, praying he would go away like a bad dream, but in reality, knowing I am in a pickle.
I really like your cosplay. A little fan service, eh?
He told me, looking me up and down. At 15, I used to dress flamboyantly with a lot of colorful skirts and jackets, low-cut shirts, due to it being summer and the fact that I used to sweat like a hippo if I don't. I smile a bit confused and lost, telling him I wasn't cosplaying, for which he was surprised, noting down,
Oh, I'm sorry. You look so cute. I'm thing one.
For about 25 minutes, I could not shake him. He spoke to no one else but me. Every time I wanted to find an excuse and would leave, he would tell me,
No, don't go. No one else likes me. I'm so lonely here. Please keep me company. You're so nice to me. Oh, don't go. I want a little more fan service, please.
To which I would smile awkwardly at. He tried asking me for hugs, but I kept shrieking away
Shrinking.
like Satan from holy water.
Oh.
No, it says shrieking. Keeping my distance. He kept telling me how much he loved Adventure Time, telling me he lived near here but forgot his Adventure Time hat and asked me if I'd wait for him. He goes to get it. My beady little eye saw my chance, telling him sure. He runs off, literally runs like a goddamn speed of sound, leaving a dust trail behind him, and I seized my chance to escape, thinking that was the last of him. 2 weeks after the event, I was walking around the city center, minding my own business, when I hear brisk running from behind, suddenly a push and tackle me down.
Hey, it's you.
I hear a familiar brisk voice and a body rub behind me and half a hug, grinding its filth on me. The hair on the back of my neck stood as I feel my back arch in a desire to escape. I turned to see Thing 1 smiling. I greet him, and in exchange of pleasantries we smile. It's like he didn't even change, or done anything since he had seen me and was wearing the exact same thing as he was 2 weeks ago. I was baffled. He was going somewhere, and I suggested he should get going, but insisted to walk with me, telling me that he
doesn't want to be rude and just will leave you all on your own. It wouldn't be nice of me.
Touché. Nice guilt move. He told me he was going to meet his friend and I should come along, and it would be fun, and they were going to smoke weed. I am 15 with mild asthma.
That's me.
So no thank you. As I tried to walk away, he followed, telling him how lucky that he is that he needed to go the same way. I used every excuse with no luck. We were both heading to the other side of town, which only really has one pathway. While walking, he started telling me his life story, which I did not ask nor cared to hear. I know it sounds harsh, but I don't. He told me about his depression and how no one likes him, and he told me about how he tries to be everything for some girls, but they keep rejecting him, telling me,
I hope you're not like those trashy hags. You're so nice and listen to me.
To which I just blinked. He told me that before I came, he was so disappointed with the event and all the girls were too snotty to mind him. I couldn't believe it. I thought to myself, if I'm going to listen to this dribble, I needed food. There was a McDonald's nearby which I said I wanted to go to so he can go. Thing 1 offered to buy me food. He wasn't going to back out, so I took him up on his offer. Picking for the food would shut him up. I did not know how to tell him to get lost. I watched him violently type on his phone as I ordered. After about 20 minutes, this tall, lanky, black-haired dude comes up to us with a smug grin and a distasteful look in his eye. Meet Thing 2. The two greeted each other with a looming realization that my gluttony has brought me into despair.
She is a cutie, isn't she?
He greeted me as I bit into my Big Mac, contemplating if this was God for punishing me for accepting any free food. He slid down next to me and put his arm around my waist and told me his name, to which I responded with a blank stare.
I like my girls with meat in their mouth.
I'm so sorry.
Why are you people so disgusting? I hate you.
He told me, winking. This wasn't worth free food, and 15-year-old me agreed.
I hope I'm not interrupting your date,
said Thing 2, winking at Thing 1, to which my head shot up and spat. Well, I'm 15, so no! Both seemed confused.
Really? You look older. Old enough for me to take you to a bar and give you a good time.
It's not over.
Oh, there's more? Don't worry, I'd look after you,
said Thing 2, with a smile that still haunts me. Jesus Christ. He looked nothing like Thing 1. He was well groomed, but had that punch me in the face that no respectable human could stand. Thing 1 turned red and chuckled, and I began waiting for my chance to escape. And soon enough, my mother texted to ask when I'd be home. The both of them snapped towards me, seeing my phone as some form of holy grail.
Oh, can I have your number, cutie?
Asked Thing 2, to which Thing 1 agreed. I didn't use texts much, as at the time I only had about 500 for free, so I thought to myself, if I give it to them it would be no problem, as I was jumping to another contract in 2 months with a new number. In order to free myself and leave the cave trolls their tribute and cross the bridge to safety somewhere where I wasn't. This is where the drama began, the kind of drama that still makes me chuckle to this day. I was now receiving messages from both of them, constantly, and at large amounts. Through this I did find a mutual friend, who was just as amused, telling me that 1 and 2 were friends with them for 5 years. The too long didn't read for this, because I can't fucking read this last paragraph, is just, meet the first nice guy who clings to me and at every step, who's 19, and me, 15, meet his friend, Thing 2, 18, who makes uncomfortable predatory comments at me. Both of them start texting me over the course of a few weeks, telling me how the other feels about me, telling me that they are better than the other person, and should be their girl instead. A battle of two commences, where for days they would talk to me about being interested in the other, when in reality, I would want to get rid of them both, and happen to do it with one stone. That's a wild ride, boys!
That's a lot.
Okay. Creep that went plus Ultron is creeping.
Yeah.
So recently, the My Hero Academia movie came out and had a few showings near me, so I decided to go with my friend 2 days ago. We got there about an hour and a half early because we were pretty pumped for this movie. Call us out for being weebs if you want, it's justified to be honest. The movie theater has a little area for you before you actually get into the theaters where you buy snacks and stuff, and they have tables and chairs, so we sit down, talk, get hyped for the movie. Now, because we're both cosplayers and we were debating coming to the movie in cosplay, but none of us have the self-confidence for that, instead I had my UA gym uniform top on and I just wore it as a jacket. So, for anyone who is a fan of My Hero Academia, I could be spotted fairly easily, and spotted I was, but by the worst possible person.
Oh, hooray.
Enter our nice guy of this story. Now initially he didn't seem like a nice guy to us. He pretty much seemed like a normal average dude wearing a My Hero Academia t-shirt, pumped for the movie like we were. Oh, how wrong I was. Anyway, nice guy spots my jacket, comes over to me and my friend and points it out, asking if we were here to see the movie. We tell him we are, and he just takes that as an invitation to sit at our table, I guess. Conversation starts pretty normal, just us talking about the show and how excited we were for the movie. He eased into the nice guyness slowly.
I'm pretty surprised to see 2 girls here, especially gorgeous ones like you 2.
Oh, thank you.
It's probably going to probably mostly going to be other guys there, so if anyone tries to bother you, just let me know. Insert creepy wink.
Me and my friend gave each other a look as we started to realize what kind of situation we were in. We wanted to just walk away from him or ask him to leave or something, but he didn't want to be rude, so we just toughed it out together. It comes up in conversation that we're cosplayers. Nice Guy seriously looks me up and down, looks me in the eyes, and says,
"You should do Momo's hero outfit. You'd suit her perfectly, and I'm sure no guy would be able to take their eyes off you."
Needless to say, that comment made me pretty uncomfortable. Not long after that, my friend, the absolute angel she is, mentions that it's almost time for the movie. And that we wanted to go grab some snacks before heading inside, so we buy popcorn and all that jazz. Nice Guy follows us and tries to pay. We had to tell him thank you multiple times before he gave up, muttering to himself about why a woman wouldn't appreciate nice gestures. We hoped that would be it, but oh no. He follows us, trying to butt into our conversations as we go into the theater. Now, since this was a special showing, when ordering our tickets, we had to reserve our seats. I had gotten mine and my friend's seat further to the back because that was pretty much all that was available. He follows us to our seats and sits down next to me. "Oh, I'm pretty sure you're supposed to go to the seat you reserved when you pre-ordered your ticket."
Well, if someone does come, I'll just move. Till then, I'll be here to protect the two of you.
Despite our best efforts to convince him we're fine and we don't need protecting, he stays through most of the previews. He made a few comments about how people usually go to the back of the movie to make out and stuff, but we just tried to ignore him for the most part, until he tapped on my shoulder. I turned to him and suddenly he's really close, like uncomfortably close.
I was wondering, maybe after this movie you and I could hang out, grab a coffee?
Actually, I'm going to be hanging out with Friend after this.
Oh, well, maybe I could get your number so we can set up another time. Take the hint! Take the hint!
I don't give my number out to many people, sorry. He starts going on and on about how he's a nice guy and I wouldn't regret going out with him, and how he'd treat me amazing, etc., etc. You know, the normal nice guy bullshit. But after about a minute of this, I finally cut him off. I have a boyfriend and I don't think he'd like me hanging out with some guy I just met. And then he just goes the fuck off.
Slur.
He starts saying that it's a pretty weak excuse and I should just say if I didn't want to go out with him, so I don't have to make up some lie about a boyfriend, because he can apparently tell that I'm single. My friend backing me up and showing him pictures I had of me, and my boyfriend together. I didn't owe him any proof or anything like that, but I honestly just wanted him to shut the fuck up. He goes on to say that my boyfriend is probably an asshole for not letting me hang out with other guys, even going so far as to call him abusive. I don't know how to respond to that. It made me furious because my boyfriend is honestly fucking great and I love him and I wouldn't be with him otherwise, but I just didn't know how to respond to all of this freaking out. This ended as the people who had reserved the seat next to us showed up and he left calling me a teasing bitch.
I hate you. I hate you people. I really do.
r/just neckbeard things. We're crossing over some of the Reddit posts because some of them are crossed over. This one is called Neckbeard Story from an 18-year-old female cosplayer. Oh, we should be looking in just neckbeard things. I forgot about neckbeards. I'm such a fool. So this is our last Nice Guy story. We will be doing a second part, but we brought our
little boy.
Our little boy. He's come toward us. So about a year ago, when I was 17, I went to my annual City Comic-Con. I have gone for the past 2 years, and I have always loved seeing the different costumes, booths, and vendors. I was mostly there for the cosplay. It's always amazing to see what people can come up with when making their own costumes. I was going with a friend of mine who is obsessed with Star Wars, and he was going as a last-minute Luke Skywalker, but he was running late because he was trying to make his boots still fit correctly, and I was already at the con waiting in the commons area of the convention center. Con Crunch is evil, kids. Now some things about me. I'm maybe 5'4", very skinny, and I was dressed up as Veronica Sawyer from the movie musical Heathers. Oh boy! Not a very common costume, but I liked it. And I also look like Winona Ryder, kinda, lol, I can dream. So it was a pretty good pick. The costume consisted of a big blue jacket with shoulder pads from the 80s and a shortish gray skirt, knee-high socks, and a white collared shirt. was really proud of it, but I had a huge blister under my cosplay on my shoulder. I burned myself that morning when curling my hair for the con. I still have a scar. This is important. I was standing around looking at my phone and texting another friend when I heard someone shout, "Oh my god, it's K-On!" I didn't really know what he meant, and I didn't think it was about me until I felt a forceful tap on my shoulder right where the burn was. I stepped back and winced when I got poked, and I looked up to see this big dude with what I can only describe as a top hat fedora looking down at me. He had a big brown shirt on with some character on it from an anime, baggy brown and black pants, and the start of a neckbeard that was blonde and orange. He didn't smell, did not have any preference for personal space at all. He was about 6 feet tall and only a few inches from me, looking down and smiling intently. I had no idea what to say to this guy. I looked around, then back at him, trying to figure out if he was talking to me or if he just wanted me to move out of his way. I then stepped back to let him pass, and he moved closer to me. Before I could ask him to move, he opened his mouth and said, "You even flinch like Yui. You are adorable." I really want to hug you now. Can you flinch again? All in a word waterfall in one big breath with no spaces. Excuse me? I said in total bewilderment. He then stepped closer to me and bended down to look at my face way too closely for comfort. "You don't sound like her though, and the skirt is all wrong. It needs to be shorter and your hair is too long," he said just as quickly, but now he was looking me up and down with a squint like he was disapproving of my outfit, as if he was some cool dude in an anime. And then I realized he thought I was some other character, and explained to him that I wasn't this Yui character. I was supposed to be from the Heathers musical or movie. And then he dead-ass looked me up and down too slowly, lingering on my skirt for too long, and he said, "You know, it's not polite to lie to someone you just met, Yui."
What the fuck is wrong with you? I fucking hate you.
I was very confused at the bit, and creeped out at this point, as he was now staring at my chest. I stepped out of his way and I told him I had to leave. He then grabbed my arm and told me that he wanted a picture. I stared at him a second and realized I was way too creeped out to say no, and I didn't want to make him upset. I did, however, tell him that I was hurt on my shoulder and explained a hair curler incident, and that's why I had flinched. He said that he understood and told me he would be careful. He took out his phone and wrapped his arm around me and took the picture. I told him I then had to leave and move. "Can I just have one more?" I said yes, thinking he was just a bit awkward. I posed for the camera, and then he jabbed me really hard where the burn was. I yelped in pain, and he tried to get the picture. I was trying not to cry as I quickly went to the doors leading to the hallway. The last thing I heard him say before I walked away was him saying, "Adorable," in a super creepy way. Please stay safe at cons, especially if you're cosplaying.
Yeah.
A good sentiment. Do you want to give your advice of how to avoid nice guys? Because even though you are a boy, you've gotten a couple nice guys.
I don't really know how the hell to avoid them, to be honest.
Because, see, we don't make these videos mentioning it just because, oh, it's cringy, or like, oh, like to make fun of people. It's more because those people make you uncomfortable and make you don't want to continue having your own good time. I understand they're trying to have a good time, but especially with people who either are younger than they look, or even minors who they do it to, it's predatory
And gross. Just use common sense. Don't touch random strangers.
And if they're trying to get away from you, like, just respect that, because everyone at conventions are kind of, like, introverted, so, like, even if you're not being creepy and somebody's trying to get away, they might have, like, somewhere to be or something, and they don't want to be a dick and be like, "Sorry, like, you're boring, I gotta go." Yeah. Like, they might have somewhere to be. Okay, I've been Kai. This is Tyler. I hope your day gets better from here.
Please.
Bye.
Bye.